Vallabha Girivaradhari Jayo Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Jayo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Rama Rama. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jayo Gauranitai 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 Jai Gauranitai. Jayo Jagannath Jagannatha Baladeva Jai Shri Subhadra. Jayo Radha Vallabha Radha Vallabha Se Radhe. Jayo Radha Vallabha Radha Vallabha Se Radhe. Jayo Jayo Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada. Jayo Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jai Jai Prabhupada. Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Parivrajakarya Sutarashat Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki ISKCON Founder-Acharya Prabhupada ki Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Parivrajakarya Sutarashat Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki Grantaraj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Janitai Gaur Premanande. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada ki joy. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 8, Chapter 8, verse number 16. Bhushanani vichitrani, Bhushanani vichitrani, Vishwakarma Prajapati, Vishwakarma Prajapati, Haram Saraswati Padmam, Haram Saraswati Padmam, Ajo Nagascha Kundale, Ajo Nagascha Kundale, Bhushanani Vichitrani, Vishwakarma Prajapati, Haram Saraswati Padmam, Ajo Nagascha Kundale, Bhushanani Vichitrani, Vishwakarma Prajapati, Haram Saraswati Padmam, Ajo Nagascha Kundale. Bhushanani Vichitrani, Ajo Nagascha Kundale, Bhushanani Vichitrani, Hati Padmam, Bhushanani Vichitrani, Haram Saraswati Padmam, Nagascha Kundale. Mataji. Bhushanani Vichitrani, Vishwakarma Prajapati, Haram Saraswati Padmam, Ajo Nagascha Kundale, Bhushanani Vichitrani, Vishwakarma Prajapati, Haram Saraswati Padmam, Ajo Nagascha Kundale. Word for word meaning. Bhushanani, varieties of ornaments. Vichitrani, all very nicely decorated. Vishwakarma Prajapatihi. Vishwakarma, one of the Prajapatis, the son of Lord Brahma, who generate progeny. Haram, garland or necklace. Saraswati, the goddess of education. Padmam, a lotus flower. Ajaha, Lord Brahma. Nagahascha, the inhabitants of Nagaloka. Kundale, 2 earrings. Translation. Vishwakarma, one of the Prajapatis, supplied varieties of decorated ornaments. The goddess of learning Saraswati supplied a necklace. Lord Brahma supplied a lotus flower, and the inhabitants of Nagaloka supplied earrings. We'll go to verse 17. We'll do 17, 18, 19 and 20. Verse number 17. Thereafter, Mother Lakshmi, the goddess of fortune, having been properly celebrated with an auspicious ritualistic ceremony, began moving about, holding in her hand a garland of lotus flowers, which were surrounded by humming bumblebees. Smiling with shyness, her cheeks decorated by her earrings, she looked extremely beautiful. The few lines of purport. The goddess of fortune, Mother Lakshmi ji, accepted the ocean of milk as her father, but she perpetually rests on the bosoms of Narayan. She offers benedictions even to Lord Brahma and other living entities in this material world. Yet she is transcendental to all material qualities. Although she appeared to have been born of the ocean of milk, she immediately resorted to her eternal place on the bosoms of Narayan. Verse 18. Her 2 breasts, which were symmetrical and nicely situated, were covered with sandalwood pulp and kumkum powder, and her waist was very thin. As she walked here and there, her ankle bells jingling softly, she appeared like a creeper of gold. Verse 19. While walking among the Gandharvas, Yakshas, Asuras, Siddhas, Charanas, and denizens of heaven, Lakshmi Devi, the goddess of fortune, was scrutinizingly examining them, but she could not find anyone naturally endowed with all good qualities. None of them was devoid of faults, and therefore she could not take shelter of any of them. There's another 2-3 lines of purport. The goddess of fortune, Lakshmi Devi, having been granted from the ocean of milk, was a daughter of the ocean. Thus, she was allowed to select her own husband in svayamvara ceremony. She examined every one of the candidates, but she could not find anyone suitably qualified to be her shelter. In other words, Narayan, the natural husband of Lakshmi, cannot be superseded by anyone in this material world. Verse 20. The goddess of fortune, examining the assembly, thought in this way: someone who has undergone great austerity has not yet conquered anger. Someone possesses knowledge, but he has not conquered material desires. Someone is a very great personality, but he cannot conquer lusty desires. Even a great personality depends on something else. How then can he be the supreme controller? Purport. Here is an attempt to find the supreme controller or Ishvara. Everyone may be accepted as an Ishvara or controller, but still such controllers are controlled by others. For example, one may have undergone severe austerities, but still be under the control of anger. By a scrutinizing analysis, we find that everyone is controlled by something else. No one therefore can be the true controller but the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. This is supported by the Shastras. Ishvara Paramaha Krishna. The Supreme Controller is Krishna. Krishna is never controlled by anyone, for he is the controller of everyone. Sarva Karana Karanam. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manabhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupagadāmayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuthapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubheva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Nite Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Hare Krishna. So here we are in between the episode of Samudra Manthan, the churning of the milk ocean. And yesterday we discussed in the class, when Samudra Manthan happens, a lot of things comes out. So far, Uchashreva, the horse that also came out, was taken by the demons. The rest, everything was divided amongst the devatas and other personalities. And then came Mother Lakshmi. Lakshmi Devi came out of the churning of milk ocean from Samudra Manthan. Now when Lakshmi Devi came out, she was wanted by everyone, which is a very natural response of everyone who is materially conditioned thereafter Lakshmi. And there is no hesitation for people to do Lakshmi Puja if they know the culture and if they are accustomed to some sort of understanding that, oh, by doing Lakshmi Puja, Lakshmi comes. But there is a very major philosophical discrepancy which people have while worshipping Lakshmi Devi. So even devatas, even the demons, they all wanted Lakshmi. So Lakshmi Devi, who is independent personality, mother of the universe, personification of wealth, she decided that I will do my own svayamvara. Even though her father is the ocean, because she came from the ocean, but she did her own svayamvara, not the father did. In case of Sita Devi, Janak Maharaj organized the svayamvara. But in this case, Lakshmi Devi herself decided, I'll do my own svayamvara. So, svayamvara, the word itself means swayam and var, means I will decide who my husband is going to be. I will choose who my husband is going to be. So, traditionally what used to happen, the kings would organize swayamvara for their daughters. And kings were intelligent. They would purposefully do it in many occasions. Because if they hand over their daughter to someone, then the other kings who also wanted the princess will get agitated, angry, and they will attack the king. So very intelligently kings would arrange swayamvara where the blame doesn't come on the king, but it's the girl's choice. So don't blame me. She decided. So what many other prince will do is that they will prepare themselves in the best of the best attires. They will prepare themselves in best condition, best situation, as beautiful, as handsome they can look. And they will sit in the swayamvara, and the princess will go and she will choose whom she wants, her husband. So, we have seen so many such swayamvaras that have happened. Even in Mahabharata we see, even in Ramayana, Mother Sita also did that. Even Draupadi also, there was a swayamvara arranged. So in some swayamvaras, in some such ceremonies, girl just goes and chooses whoever she wants to get married. But in some cases, there is a very difficult contest organized by the father to get the best of the best option for their daughter. So even in Krishna Leela, in Krishna's pastime, I think it's with Satyabhama if I'm not wrong, the father of Satyabhama did a swayamvara that whoever can tame 7 bulls simultaneously, Satyabhama, right? Whoever can tame 7 strong bulls simultaneously can get Satyabhama. Because even the father knew and even Satyabhama knew. No one other than Krishna could do it. So they just organized a svayamvara in a way where so many kings came to participate. They thought they can easily conquer bulls. But because these are 7 strong bulls and you have to simultaneously subdue them, some were beaten, some were injured, some even died. This is the spirit. But Krishna very easily conquered and subdued all the 7 bulls and married Satyabhama. Even in Mahabharata we see for Draupadi, the Swayamvar arranged was a very complicated, very technical one, where the archer would come and this archer has to shoot in the eye of the fish, not looking at the moving fish, but they have to look at the reflection of the fish in the oil underneath. You have to be very, very expert to do that. And Drupad Maharaj, who was father of Draupadi, he knew only 2 or 3 people are even capable of doing it. Bhishma Pitama, Arjun of course. But till then, Pandavas, there was an attack done on Pandavas by Duryodhana and they were hiding. And no one knew whether even Pandavas are alive or not. So they did a Lakshagra episode happened in Mahabharata where Pandavas there was an attempt to burn them alive, all the 5 brothers, along with their mother Kunti. But they escaped somehow, and this was the first occasion they made a public appearance on Swayamvar of Draupadi. So similarly, and then Arjuna of course shot. Some scholars of Mahabharata, they say that when turn for Karna came, Draupadi purposefully rejected him because she didn't want to marry Karna anyways, and she insulted Karna. But in majority of the texts of Mahabharata, in majority of the compilations of Mahabharata, this part doesn't come. So some scholars who have done a lot of research on all major Mahabharats, they say this is added later to add some masala into Mahabharata, but it was originally not there. But anyway, so now Mother Lakshmi is doing her own Swayamvar, and she also has her conditions. And her conditions are also very difficult to achieve, very difficult to meet. And her conditions are that I want someone who is perfection personified, who has no faults whatsoever. And that is so difficult. And then she quotes, we see in verse, I have read till verse 20, but even 21 and 22, the devotees who will do it tomorrow and day after, they can speak more on that. But there are faults she's talking about and there are advantages she's talking about, which she sees in the Lord, and faults she sees in other great personalities. So in the verse we see in verse number 20, she sees those who have done austerity. It's a good side, right? It's a good quality. They also have faults. And the fault is those who have done so much of tapasya, they can get agitated by anger. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, while explaining these verses, he is quoting different examples from the Puranas and history. How he quotes, like how Durvasa Rishi, who is none other than Ansha avatar of Lord Shiva, he did so much of austerity, so much of tapasya, but very easily he can get angry. Because he has no control over anger. Even in Mahabharata, Pandavas are very scared of the curse of Durvasa Rishi. And many other people have been cursed by Durvasa Rishi. He gets very easily pleased, so he'll grant boon very easily. But if he gets upset, he has no control over anger, so he will burn you to death. Then knowledge. This is all in verse number 20. Then in knowledge, who can be more knowledgeable than the teacher of the Devatas, which is Brihaspati, the Guru of the Devatas. The Guru of the Devatas, Brihaspati, is the most knowledgeable person because he is Guru of the Devatas. How much learned he must be. But even Brihaspati shows symptoms of material attachment. He also shows symptoms where he is materially attached, and Lakshmi Devi says, what is the point? of having so much knowledge when you have material attachment. Then someone can be as great as Lord Brahma. Someone can be as great as Lord Brahma, who is the creator, secondary creator of the cosmos. But then even Brahma displays sometimes lusty desire, where he got agitated and he had such desire seeing his own daughter walk. In Bhagavatam it comes later. So she says, no, rejected. She is not naming these personalities. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur names these personalities. She is just naming the qualities and the faults attached to it. Then she talks about, in verse number 20, someone who is a controller, who is a Ishvara. Now Prabhupada in the purport mentions that we all are Ishvara in our capacities. We all are controllers. We all have some control over some area, field, people, our own body. There is some control we have. And we all are Ishvara in that sense. And then, at least in South, Lord Shiva is very commonly known as Ishvara. But the Supreme Lord is known as Parameshvara. So we may have control over some limited capacities, but the Supreme Lord has total control over everything. There is a very, very famous verse Srila Prabhupada quotes to explain the difference between us and the Supreme Lord. Nitya nityanam chetanas chetananam eka bahunam yo vidadhati kaman. We are eternal because Atma is eternal. This body dies, but the soul never dies. The Supreme Lord is also eternal. Chetanas chetananam. We are conscious of our body to some degree and our surroundings, but the Supreme Lord is conscious of all the bodies because He is Paramatma seated in everyone's heart. So He is conscious of the workings, the thinking, the mindset of all the bodies. We don't know what we will think tomorrow and do tomorrow, but the Supreme Lord is conscious of that also, that what this living entity will do tomorrow and what they will think tomorrow. Eka bahunam yo vidadati kaman. He is such a Ishvara, such a controller, such a powerful personality that He is maintaining all the living entities. Now someone who is rich with some wealth, they may maintain 10, 15, 20 workers, maybe 100 employees, 2,000 employees, 5,000 employees. But then when their money goes down, all these jobs are made redundant and they are thrown out of work. We hear, so many companies, Microsoft laid off so many people, Oracle laid off so many people. So they cannot maintain people the way Supreme Lord maintains. We never hear that the Supreme Lord has decided that in this particular planet Earth, I abandon this one species. No more food for this one species. It is too much of interference of exploitative behaviors by men which is causing all the imbalance. But the Supreme Lord never abandons because He is Parameshvara. He has actual control. And in one place, Srila Prabhupada writes that someone who is the proprietor and who is the actual controller of everything, only that person can be the supreme enjoyer. Because to enjoy, you need to have control. You have to be proprietor of something. You have to own something. Otherwise, you cannot enjoy. Only Krishna displays complete controllership. And when I say Krishna, I am talking about Narayan, Vishnu, all these personalities. They show complete control, proprietorship over everything that exists. And that's why they are actual enjoyer of everything that exists. We, as part and parcel of the Supreme Lord, enjoy in relationship to the Supreme Lord, not independently. There's a very clear difference if understood properly. So here, Mother Lakshmi is saying, there are many controllers in front of me. Just imagine the scene. This is Samudra Manthan happening where hundreds and thousands of devatas are there on one side. Hundreds and thousands of asuras are there on one side. All rishis, everyone is watching. And then Lakshmi comes from Samudra Manthan, from the ocean. And then she's pointing to everyone, their qualities and their faults. That, no, rejected. Because everyone is after her. They all want Lakshmi. She's so attractive. She's so beautiful. She is wealth personified. And then Lakshmi says, Indra, who appears to be the head of the devatas, is so scared of demons. That's why he's doing Samudra Manthan. Because and how can he be the supreme controller? So controllership also fails. So in verse number 21 and 22, more qualities are given. Even she points out to indicating that even Lord Shiva, and she finds out, oh, there is one fault in Lord Shiva. And she points out a fault. I can't remember, I think it's in 22. Anyways, I'll not get into the verse. Devotee who is going to do that will do that. Inauspicious habits. He has inauspicious habits because he lives in crematorium grounds. Lord Shiva is mostly found in Shamshan. So Lakshmi Devi is saying, no, that is inauspicious. Even though Lord Shiva is Mahadev, he is the most powerful Devata, powerful personality. But she still says, inauspicious. Because I cannot live in crematorium. So, like that, Lakshmi Devi gives all the qualities and then she finds faults. But then, in later verse it will come, when she goes to the Supreme Lord, when she goes to Vishnu, Vishnu doesn't even look at her. Vishnu doesn't even look at her, and then she says, I am rejecting everyone, but you are not even interested in me. And she glorifies this as a quality of Vishnu, that he is least bothered, least interested in this. So in these verses from 17 to 20, you will notice that, and later also it comes more specifically, that there are two types of Lakshmi that came out and merged and became one. First is who is the mother of the universe, Mahalakshmi. And the second one is the one who is personification of wealth, who is basically money personified, or wealth, or I would say well-being personified for that matter. Now, the mother of the universe, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions that the mother of the universe did not go for svayamvara, but the personification of wealth, she did the role play or acting or drama as if she is going and choosing a suitable partner. And she is acting in a way that, okay, I'll go and I'll choose, as if she's selecting a husband. Because Mother Lakshmi is eternally a consort of Lord Vishnu or Narayan. So she doesn't have to go and find a husband. She's just showing to everyone that all of you are imperfect other than Vishnu. And then she selects Vishnu. She was anyways going to select Vishnu because Vishnu is her consort, her husband. But she purposefully does that. Then Lord Vishnu gave her a place to sit on his chest. That's verse 18 and 19 we read. Lord Vishnu gives her place to sit on her chest. And very nicely, one of the acharyas, they explain, even Prabhupada writes in the purport, that when Lord has given place for Mother Lakshmi to sit on the chest, the intention of the Lord is, when my devotees, they come to take my darshan, and they are taking my darshan, and you are sitting on my chest, and because you are sitting on my chest and they are taking my darshan, you will look at them. And whoever gets the glance of Lakshmi, their troubles, their problems in life goes away. So it is very powerful, it's very potent on a regular basis every day to come and take darshan of the Lord. Because while taking darshan of the Lord, Mother Lakshmi looks at the devotees. And when she glances over the devotees, Prabhupada even writes in the purport, those who are in proper consciousness, who are approaching Mother Lakshmi, not personification of wealth part of Lakshmi, who are approaching the Supreme Lord to serve the Lord and his energy, not to exploit his energy and get rid of the Lord, that same Mother Lakshmi provides all the opulences to that devotee. Whatever that devotee needs to be peacefully happy in this world, she provides. It can be health, money, whatever, But a devotee doesn't even approach the Lord for all that. But Lakshmi Devi blesses the devotee. And one of the devotees was even mentioning the other day that you will not find any devotee of Lord Krishna or Vishnu or Narayan ever starving or struggling to get their basic needs met, because Lakshmi Devi always provides. Lakshmi Devi always maintains the devotees of the Lord. But there is another category who is purely after the wealth part of Lakshmi. And in many occasions we find ourselves also in that category. Imagine husband wife visits someone's house, and both husband and wife are at the gate, and the whole family comes. They don't even look at the husband, and they greet the wife, and they take her inside. They feed her. They basically take care of her, and her poor husband is standing at the gate, and no one is even looking at her. If the wife is chaste, if the wife is sati, if the wife is very genuinely connected and attached to the husband, she'll get very upset. So what people do, even on Diwali, which is going to come soon in next month, people do Lakshmi Ganesh Puja. And when they do Lakshmi Ganesh Puja, the whole mentality is problem should remove, money should come. It just basically boils down to these two things. Remove the speed breaker so that money can come. So Ganeshji, you remove all the obstacles from my life so that Lakshmi can peacefully flow. And people forget that Diwali is the day when Sita Ram came to Ayodhya. So hardly anyone worships Sita Ram on that day, and the whole Diwali becomes a festival of Lakshmi Ganesh. Remove problem, free flow of money. But it's a very demonic mentality, because this is exactly what Ravan wanted to do. This is what exactly a demon wants to do. This is exactly what people who are after the energy of the Lord, they want to do. That they want to neglect the Lord, and they want the energy of the Lord. Ravan wanted to enjoy Sita, aloof from Ram. If he would have accepted Sita and Ram together and would want to serve both of them, we would worship Ravan like we worship or we glorify Vibhishan, because he is a great devotee of Ram and Sita. Or we worship Hanumanji, who is a great devotee of Ram and Sita. Whereas this mentality of selective worship or selective enjoyment, actually it's not even worship, it's just exploitation. The mentality is just how to exploit, how to enjoy for one's own purpose, is very detrimental. So Lakshmi Devi has, anyone knows the vehicle of Lakshmi? Owl. Lakshmi Devi's vehicle is owl. And in some occasions her vehicle becomes Padma, lotus. But mostly it is owl. Her vehicle is owl. So, some acharyas, they mention that those people who are after the wealth of from Lakshmi, not devotional service of Narayan. This is exactly of that type of people who does not welcome the husband who is standing at the door, but they only are interested in taking care of the wife. That Lakshmi comes on owl to them. And when she comes on owl, she bewilders them so much that their day goes in enjoying the money, and night goes in enjoying their senses, and life becomes hell. Day goes in earning money, working hard like a donkey, and night goes in spending that money, trying to fulfill their sensory pleasures, and life becomes very hellish. But for devotees, she comes on lotus, for the devotees of the Lord. So, if one has to very carefully understand how to approach Lakshmi Devi, and she must be approached along with Narayan. If the mantra we chant Hare Krishna is Radha and Krishna together. So we are approaching the energy of the Lord along with the energetic source, which is the Supreme Lord, together. No independent worship without neglecting the energetic source, which is the Supreme Lord. In verse number 20, when Prabhupada is talking about this Ishvara Bhav, this mentality of being the controller, this mentality of being the Ishvara in competition with Parameshvara, the Supreme Lord. Now, when we understand that it's very easy to please the Lord if we approach Him for serving the Lord instead of what benefits I can get from the Lord, it becomes very easy for a person to get the blessings of the Lord and his energy simultaneously. For example, most of the people, when they approach the Lord or they have some puja done, They are not interested in the person itself. They are interested in what this person can offer. So most of our worship or puja is after the benefits that can be given by that personality. We're not interested in the person for that matter. Once in a village, a king planned out, okay, whoever wins this competition, these top 5 winners can get whatever they want. So the announcement was done. So all the intelligentsia of that village came for this competition. So top 5 are going to be selected. So the competition happened and top 5 winners came in front of the king and the minister, in front of whole assembly, all the villagers, the whole kingdom was there. And king said, okay, ask whatever you want. So one person said, I want 1,000 gold coins. What will you do? I will invest somewhere, I will get some money, my future is secured. Okay, given 1,000 gold coins, take. Other person came, what do you want? I want 100 milk-giving fertile cows. Okay, what will you do? The number will increase, my possession will increase, my wealth will increase, I can sell the milk and make money, whatever. My future is secured. Third person, what do you want? I want 100-acre fertile land. I can grow crops, I can sell, I can make money, my future is secured. Fourth also asked something. The fifth person from his very childhood was very attracted to the qualities of the king. He was constantly listening to the qualities of the king. He was very, very attracted how great, how amazing the king is. So his turn came. What do you want from the king? He said, I don't want anything. I just want friendship of the king. So minister said, how did you win this competition? You appear to be a fool. King is happy to give everything you want and you are asking just for friendship. He said, I am just satisfied with the friendship of the king. I'm cherishing this moment because from my childhood I am hearing how great and how nice this king is. Okay, given friendship, go. So after a few weeks, king receives a letter that, my dear friend, few weeks before you made me a friend, please come for lunch at my home. I want to serve you. So now he's king. King doesn't travel alone. It's like, when Prime Minister travels, there are 20 other people travel. The whole SPG travels, the security travels, they all do, they sanitize the place, so much drama happens. So king told to the minister, now this person is calling me for lunch, but you go and see the situation. Is that place even qualified to even cater me? So the minister goes and he sees, oh, it's a broken thatched hut, water is leaking, there is no utensils, there is no bhoga, there is nothing to eat, the surrounding is so dirty. He brought his men, money, okay, buy all the grocery, buy all the gold, silver utensils. King is coming, make a new house, clean all the surroundings, give him servants. And then king came to eat lunch at his person's place. And he has everything now, big home, all gold, silver utensils, full grocery is full, it is filled, servants are there. Again, after a few months, king receives a letter from this person. My dear friend, I want to meet you in the assembly hall. Okay, come. Now, king is sitting on the throne. He's standing down. He said, King, what is our relationship? King said, we are friends. So he said, King, you are up there. I am down here. Either you come down or I come up. The king is thinking, oh my God, he's a friend. Friend means equal relationship. What to do? King said, I am a king, I cannot come down. Minister, bring another singhasan, another throne next to me and put for my friend. And he started sitting next to the king, on a throne next to the king. So he was not interested in what the king can offer. He was interested in king itself. So the devotees of the Lord trained themselves to be interested in not what Lord can give. We as devotees are training ourselves to be interested in Lord himself. And that is bhakti. Bhakti means you don't want what Lord can offer. You want Lord only. A devotee doesn't want what Krishna can give. They want Krishna only. And because they want Krishna only, everything that Krishna can give also comes with it. But they are not interested in what Krishna can give. They want Krishna only. But because they want the Supreme Lord who possesses everything practically possible, everything follows. But this will never come into the heart and mind of a person who is not convinced of this one fact, that there is no enjoyment here. If this one thing is not understood that there is no enjoyment in this place, this desire will never come in the heart of a soul. In mental asylums, in Pagalkhana, they have a parameter to judge whether this person is any more mental or not, or has he basically graduated from this mental condition. So what they do, they give colander or sewer, chani. If you put water, everything goes away. So they give these mental people a colander which has holes in it, a bowl which has full holes in it. And their job is to fill water in that. So whole day these people who are mentally crazy, they're trying to fill water in that. So if anyone comes to the supervisor there and tells them, sir, there is something wrong, it has holes in it, water cannot be filled. They say, you have graduated, you are no more mental. we'll plan your exit now. You see, we'll plan your exit, you are no more mental now, because you have understood that you cannot fill water in this colander. Exactly in the same way, until a living entity comes to this conclusion that these senses which I am trying to please, there are holes in it, you can never satisfy your senses. It will constantly demand and it will never fill. When one questions that there is something wrong in this whole endeavor or attempt, I am trying so much, I am trying to fill the water of sense enjoyment so much in my senses, but I just cannot fill water. Is there something wrong in this equation? Something wrong is happening in this world. That's exactly is the time when the same energy of the Lord starts working on that particular living entity, that okay, it's time for you to graduate because you understood the matrix. You understood the problem of this place. You are no more a mental anymore. You understood these senses cannot be satisfied. You can fill as much water of sense gratification you want, but it will not fill. So a devotee or a person cannot come to the stage of devotional service or cannot come to the stage of doing bhakti until one comes to this conclusion that material enjoyment is poured into an instrument which has many holes and I can never fill it. Prabhupada, that's why he says that only that person can take bhakti seriously who is frustrated with material enjoyment, who is frustrated with this way of lifestyle. Rest who are trying to do bhakti, they may have some cultural upbringing, they may have some purva sanskar, but no one can actually take bhakti seriously until they come to this conclusion that there is no enjoyment here. If a person doesn't come to this conclusion that there is no enjoyment here and they also want to do bhakti, it's not serious bhakti. It is not serious bhakti. Because if someone is trying to fill water and still trying to pose that I am not mentally sick, I am a normal person, it doesn't go well together. If someone is really, really recovered from their mental disease, they will figure out there is some problem in this. This whole way of lifestyle is not taking me anywhere. So when that happens for a devotee, then his first inquiry happens, and that is, who can help me? I need Guru. I need help. I need someone to take me out. I need a mentor, guide, teacher, Guru who can really help me escape this matrix, this quagmire, this udhedbun, this really, really caught up situation I am in. I need Guru. That's why in Nectar of Devotion, the first requirement of sadhana bhakti, Rupa Goswami mentions, is Shri Guru Padashraya, taking shelter of a bona fide spiritual master. Very important. Otherwise, one can stay a religious sentimentalist for lifetimes and not attain practically the goal of life. Every morning we chant, right? Bhahu janma kare yadi shravan kirtanam tabu tanapaya Krishna pade premdhan. For many, many lifetimes one can even chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Will not attain the final goal, the destination, which is love of Godhead, because of all the offenses we commit. And one of the offenses is to still maintain material attachment even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. And what is that material attachment? That yes, there is some way or pleasure I can find in this place, and I'll make it happen. So these are some of the thoughts I had while going through these verses. So whoever is giving class tomorrow can do from verse number 21 onwards. Hare Krishna. Is there any question or comments from what we discussed? Yes, Sivya.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the nice class. Prabhu, you mentioned how when Lakshmi Devi, she was looking for a person who was perfection personified. She was looking at all the demigods and devatas, but none of them had the qualities like Lord Vishnu. So my question is, we hear that we are qualitatively one with Lord Krishna, but quantitatively we are different. So then, how come we don't have the same qualities as Lord Krishna? And I also sometimes wonder, we have these bad qualities within us. Where do these bad qualities come from? Because obviously Lord Krishna doesn't have them. What has Krishna got to do with that?
Yeah. So first part, can we come to the stage of perfection where we are also faultless? Yes, we can. And that's the whole idea of devotional service, to come to the stage of being faultless. In Bhagavatam there is a very nice verse that someone who is devotee of the Lord, all the good qualities of the devatas manifest in him. If someone is a devotee of the Lord, all the qualities of all the devatas will start to appear in that person. How does that happen? Because that person who is trying to be a devotee of the Lord and who is trying to love the Supreme Lord with full heart and mind and soul, they stop their plans of any acquisition in this material world. And all the bad qualities we see, lust, anger, greed, envy, illusion, they are manifested in a person who is very interested to make a mark here in this world. Why? Because for them to make a mark in this world, they have to have lust, anger, greed, envy, madness, illusion, on and on and on and on. Otherwise, you cannot operate in material conditioning. But if someone wants to develop their relationship with Krishna, they have to really consciously prepare themselves to give up these qualities. And then the Supreme Lord, who is sitting as Paramatma within the heart, will also, through the torch of knowledge, remove all this ignorance. In 10th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Tesam eva anukampartam aham ajnanajam tama nashyami atma bhavasto jnana deepena bhasvasa. I am sitting as super soul in the heart, and through the torch of knowledge, I will remove all these impurities. Then naturally what happens? A person comes to the stage of perfection. What is perfection for a living entity? In terms of percentage, one can be as good as 78% of God. That means the Lord displays 64 qualities in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. These chapters, in later chapters you can read them. A living entity who perfects can display up to 50 of those qualities, because he can be as good as God, but he cannot be good as he cannot become God. We as jivas, as living entities, can be as good as God, but we can never become God. So that is the maximum perfection a living entity can get, which is 50 qualities out of 64. Now where does this bad qualities come in us if we are part and parcel of Krishna? That is when we show our back towards Krishna, naturally there is darkness. What is that verse? Krishna bhuliya jeev bhogavancha kare nikataste maya japatiya dhare. When one forgets Krishna and one wants to enjoy life here, then material energy captures. Krishna surya sama maya hoy andhakar jahan Krishna taha nahi maya ra adhikar. Wherever there is the Supreme Lord Krishna, there is no darkness. Where there is no Supreme Lord, then maya ra adhikar. Then there is complete control of material energy, which is darkness. Darkness means all these bad qualities. So our solution is very simple. Application is tough. Solution is very simple. We know we can open and read the solution, but to apply can take some lifetimes. But it's possible if there is a saying in English, anything difficult is possible in good association. So that's also, that difficult thing also will be possible in good association. Is it okay? Does it answer you? Anything else? Hare Krishna. Grantharaj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Jagadguru Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai.